Greetings from Salty Bitten Adventures. I'm Mackenzie, and this is Hannon. Join us on our year-long adventure as we cruise America's Great Loop on our Ranger tug. Good morning, everyone. We're at Starved Rock Marina today. Got a break in the rain. We've had thunderstorms over the last 24 hours. We actually came here because across the river is Starved Rock State Park. So Hannon was gonna do one of his long runs. He has to do a long run every 2 weeks because he's got a 50K on October 25th near Knoxville. But the rain yesterday kind of prevented him from doing that. Good boy. So instead this morning he's gonna paddleboard across and do about 10 miles. And then in about 5 days, we're gonna retry for him to do another long run.
You get me? Hello. Hi. Hi.
We are on the closest bollard to the gates. It's like out of Lord of the Rings. The outer edge of Gondor, the Pillar of Kings opens. So we think our boat's big when it's on the trailer, but then we park it and we're next to actually big boats. We look like a little toy. It's a toy boat. We just got to our anchorage.
Huh?
We just talking to the camera. All right, so we just got to our anchorage. Got the paddleboard down. We got to get the dinghy down. Someone is very excited to get to shore. Sweet little monster. Got 2 other boats here with us. We're gonna have about 6 total here tonight. All right, so what we do is we pull the tackacad up to the swim platform, so it's like a little ramp. And now we release the beast.
He's a demon.
He's a demon.
He's a demon.
He's a cute little demon. He's on.
Oh, yeah. Back in. Sit.
Good boy. Oh, God. Ooh. probably seen 50 bald eagles on the stretch of the Illinois River. It's been crazy. Tons of juvenile ones, tons of adults. They begin to look like that with the white heads and white butts when they're around 5 years old. Oh, there he goes. Oh! How you doing today?
Good. Maintenance day.
We just spent, a couple hours kind of just cleaning the boat and then finding a service department to service our outboard engine, which is a whole separate problem because they have to take it out of the water. But they're going to take it out of the water at Green Turtle Bay.
Where are we going now?
We're going to a winery. We're in Grafton, Illinois right now, and they got this awesome chairlift that it costs $12 per person, but it's an all-day chairlift, so if you wanted to go multiple times, you could. That takes you to the top of the hill for great views and a winery, so that should be fun. This is the confluence of the Mississippi and the Illinois River. Must-see attraction in Grafton.
With wing dams.
Yep, it's a nice experience. It's great views, good food and wine. It's a good time.
Hello, we're on the Mississippi River. We left Grafton, Illinois this morning, and we're heading to the furthest fuel stop that gets you the shortest distance down the Mississippi to the next fuel stop, which is Paducah. So there's a marina called Hoppies. They're right on the river, and that distance from Hoppies to Paducah is the longest of the loop, depending on how you do it. And that's around 205 miles. So we'll head there and fuel up, and then we'll head to Paducah after that. Right now it's pretty cool. We picked up the current on the Mississippi River, so we're just going at like 1900 RPMs, and we're going over 10 miles an hour, and we're making like 3.6 miles to the gallon, which is pretty great. So far, the Mississippi River is not scary. Where I grew up, it's a giant, scary river. Here, it is a medium-sized river that is not yet scary. But I think that is partially because the water level's low. But so far, so good.
Yeah.
We got a little sloppy in our planning and didn't really look ahead. From Grafton down to Hoppies, there's actually two big locks. The Illinois River enters the Mississippi. And then in St. Louis, the Missouri enters the Mississippi as well. So all these big rivers come in. So they got two big locks. And I guess there's like an area that's not navigable on the Mississippi River that they call the Chain of Rocks. And I had no idea. And this canal kind of goes around it. So we're getting ready to go into that canal. And then there's another lock on the other side. And then we'll kind of be free and clear down the Mississippi River after the confluence of the Missouri. And we'll get to go take the boat right next to the arch. So that's part of our day-to-day.
Yeah, this is like the first time we've gone slow. We got up on plane to get to the first lock, but we're kind of treating this section all the way through the chain of locks or chain of rocks section to that last lock. Kind of slow, you know. We'll stick with this 1900 RPM, 10 miles an hour, and I think the current's actually going to pick up even more, right? When the Missouri connects in with the Mississippi.
Yeah, and this like fuel mileage economy thing, and then fast versus slow is something we're still trying to figure out. We had a stretch just above Grafton. And it was 200, and we purposefully took 242 miles to see how the boat would do in that time. And we were on plane probably 75% of the time. And we covered that 242 miles, and we had a 15% fuel reserve, or a 10% fuel reserve. So we had 15 gallons when we got to Grafton, which was good. We just kind of wanted to know. So, you know, this 205 up here, we think it's manageable, especially because we'll have the current of the Mississippi with us until we get to the last 40 miles. When you go, yeah, I see it. When you go upstream into the Ohio. But in theory, we should, you know, it should be, fuel economy should be better for this stretch. So we're trying to figure all that stuff out. And then the other thing we're still trying to work out is like the whole fast versus slow thing. We had another boat that we ended up running with for a portion of the run into Grafton, Evie, and they have a Back Cove 340, which has got twin outboards on it. You know, they can run as fast or even a little faster than we can. And we got to talk to them, which was nice, because all the boats that we've interacted with so far in the loop are displacement boats, and you know, they move between 6 and 9 knots. And you know, we're trying to figure out, like, etiquette wise, is it, you know, do you go in the lock last or lock first? How do you pass? You know, we're too slow to pass at our slow speed. So when we go a little faster to pass at, like, not on plane, it creates this big wake in the back of the boat, and then we feel bad.
Yeah, the in-between zone's not good for us.
Yeah, so we're trying to figure all that out, you know, and so you know, we've been able to, like, talk to folks. Some of our friends that we've met already, you know, we're like, hey, we passed you guys and we felt like it wasn't the right way to do it. And, you know, they're like, yeah, if you could have waited another 100 yards, you know, we would have cut in behind your wake and life would have been good. And so we're, you know, we're at least like trying to work that out with them. And so that's good, you know, learning for us as we try to figure things out.
And it lets them know, you know, the communication's always key, right? We do try to radio folks and let them know that, you know, we're on their stern and that we do intend to pass them. A lot of times if the channel's really wide, we'll do our best to get as far away from them as possible. That way, when we do go in the in-between zone, meaning like between 2,000 and 3,000 RPMs, that we don't overwake them. And yeah, so it's been going good. Just kind of it's a simple weird problem that we have with the fast versus slow mentality.
And then the kind of the last thing that we're still working on and figuring out, and it is not something we did not understand it when we bought the boat, when we were kind of doing our loop planning. I got a little wake. I'm going to cross here real quick before I talk.
You're clear behind.
Okay. So for outboard engines in general, and we have a Yamaha, but apparently it's most outboards, maybe all outboards. You do services every 100 hours and 100 engine hours, and kind of like a car, I guess. You know, there's certain things at certain intervals you have to do. So for ours, everything gets checked on 100 hours. You're changing the engine oil, you're changing the lower unit oil, and then you're inspecting some things. And then like every 300 hours is like the bigger inspections and the bigger maintenance. So at the 300 hour mark, you're replacing impellers, you're going to replace spark plugs, water pumps, that kind of stuff. And so the 300 hour inspection is pretty big, and the 100 hours not as big. But either way,
but it's every 100 hours.
It's every 100 hours. You have to pull the boat because you can't change the lower unit oil with the engine in the water. And we had no idea that was like part of the rhythm that we had to figure out. And it's more of a logistic problem than anything else. You know, you have to find somebody who can service it, and then you have to think
meet your timeline.
Yeah, you have to think far enough ahead to get to a point where, like, well, in 2 weeks we're going to be close to 100-hour service. We got a plan for this person, and then what Mackenzie did for us yesterday is she coordinated. She got the mechanic that would service the boat just south of Paducah in a marina called Green Turtle Bay. It's in Lake Barkley, in the land between the lakes. So she got the mechanic, and then she got in touch with the marina and arranged for a travel lift, in the morning when we're there. So they'll pull the boat. The mechanic will bring a crew to the marina, and they will pull the service on the engine, and then they'll splash it again, over the course of a couple hours, so that we can still stay on the boat overnight both nights, and it's done. But she had to kind of work all that. And I think we got fortunate. We probably should have done it sooner, planned it a little sooner. But honestly, I was so kind of caught off guard with the fact that we had to do that I kind of procrastinated on it till it almost got us. But I think now we're good. We know we have to plan a little bit ahead. Mm-hmm. And yeah. So, and the other question is, can you do the service yourself? The answer is yes. We could pull the boat out on a travel lift and, change the oils, do the inspections ourselves. But
you still have to pull it out of the water. Then there's the equipment.
Yeah.
Right?
The kit to change, everything is at least half of the expense. The labor's only the other half. And then we got the boat with a 6-year warranty on the Yamaha, so we kind of feel like have a certified tech do it.
Leave it to the professionals.
Yeah, it presents a clearer path if you have an engine problem to get warranty work done on it, instead of doing it yourself. So anyway, that's what we had to do. We'll go down the Mississippi River here for a couple 100 miles. We'll get to this marina, and then we'll have to pull the boat out on a travel lift to get it done. So kind of unexpected, if you're on if you have a displacement diesel boat where, the engines are inboard, you're changing your oil every 100 hours or so, apparently. But you can do all that from inside the boat. Unless you have a problem, you don't have to lift the boat out. So just something that we did not understand that you have to factor in.
Yeah. I guess the only other thing worth noting as far as like complications, we had an AC issue occur.
Oh yeah.
You can elaborate on that because you were primarily involved.
Yeah, not mechanically inclined, but we're 2 for 2. So the joke is that I'm all used up. I fixed 2 things on the loop in the first 3 weeks, and that's it. It's over. So we had I cleaned the strainers. So the strainers for this boat are in the basement at the back of the cockpit. There's a strainer for the raw water pump that you have on the back, and then there's another strainer for the marine AC and heat. And it gets stuff built up in there over time. And we've been on the rivers. There was dog hair.
That's our problem.
There's dog hair, and there's like Illinois river water in it. And so I cleaned the strainers and put it all back together. And then but what I didn't know I had to do was the little strainer cup needed to be full of water when I opened up the seacock again before we turned the AC on. So I didn't do that. It was only like a third, and turned the AC on, and basically I airlocked the AC. So there's like a big air bubble in the pump, and it would just kind of slosh around, but it didn't have enough all water running in there, and the AC wouldn't work. Got hot yesterday. So that the internet helped us. They're like, hey, take the boat out, put it on plane, and it causes a pressure change that gets the water going. And sure enough, we took the boat out, put it on plane, and it started working. So that was great. We're able to, fix 2 minor things on the boat so far. That's a good feeling.
Yeah. So far, the trip's been going really well. We had docktails again last night in Grafton with about 5 other boats, which was pretty neat.
Yeah, there were all kind of people there.
Yeah, we went to dinner with 2 other couples who invited us out, which was really nice of them. But right now we're really just, kind of preparing for this Mississippi stretch, making sure we don't run into any logs, make sure we're following the proper etiquette when we pass tows. We have a tow coming up in front of us, actually. And making sure we have enough gas to make it to Paducah.
Northbound tow. This is Salty Mitten on 13.
Other than that, it's been going well.
Northbound tow at mile marker 195, Salty Mitten 13.
Roger, northbound tow.
Yes, sir. You have a preference where to pass?
Stay on the one.
Yes, sir, on the one. Thank you. So that's it. Life is good.
Life is good.
We're rolling. LSU plays today, 2:30.
Michigan has a bye week.
Go
It's nice.
Tigers.
Go Blue. To thank you guys for watching. If there's any additional content that you'd like to see more of, like fitness, the towns we're in, cooking, nature, just drop a comment in the below section. Thank you. Have a good day.